So, see the gain in the potential energy plus decrease in the kinetic energy. How can I be so sure there is a decrease in the kinetic energy? Just go up and check. V1 is in a V1, the entry velocity is more than the exit velocity. How can I say that? Can you see that? In the diagram, it's very clearly apparent. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 now. And you can very clearly see what is happening. A1 area is smaller. So velocity will be larger. Is it or not? And A2 okay. Right. So gain in the potential energy plus decrease in the kinetic energy. How can I be so sure that kinetic energy is decreasing? See here, see. A1 is, say, I wrote that in the starting itself, you see. A1 is less. So V1 is very, very high. Yes. So definitely velocity is more, means kinetic energy is more. So if I write the formula now, and write here the change in the this is called pressure energy also, it's called as P1 minus P2 into what I'm writing, delta V is equal to, decide what, gain in the potential energy, gain in the potential energy. So what is that going to be? Same M G. Can you tell me what is it going? What am I going to write? H2 minus H1. Of course, that mass I'm going to convert that into densities. Mass of the fluid entering and mass of the fluid leaving. Plus decrease in the kinetic energy, half M. Decrease. Decrease is what? Say decrease in the kinetic energy, but we are not going to write V1 square minus V2 square. We're going to write V2 square minus V1 square only. Change. Actually, we are going to write only the changes. Okay. Is that clear? So we're going to write only half M V2 square minus V1 square only. Because at that end, that side, what is happening? At the extreme end, V2. So we're going to write that way only. Okay. We're not going to write it like in the other way.
So that means the mass of water that comes out is constant.
Of course, that's what is law of continuity, no?
Yeah, okay.
Equation of continuity. Amount of mass that enters is the amount of mass that should come out. Where will it go?
Yes,
There, isn't it? It can't be different, right? Same mass should come in, whatever you're injecting, the same mass should come out, no? Where will it go? Right? So now, this is what your formula looks like. This is what your equation looks like. Capital B means volume. Now, I don't like an equation which has mass because these are fluids. So there are two ways to do. Either you change this mass itself in terms of delta V and density, or you can divide this whole equation by volume. Either way you'll get the same result. You know what I will do is dividing by volume. I will do dividing by volume on both sides. This is easy. So what will you get here? P1 minus P2. Here what? Mass per unit volume is what? Density. Rho G H2 minus H1 plus I hope you understood, right? Mass per volume is density. So I divide by volume on both sides. Here it is gone. Here everywhere mass by volume came. Understood, both of you?
So could you just go through it once in short again?
I will again.
It's already confusing.
Yeah, again I will tell you. See here, I'll just write it and I'll again go from start. So take all ones on one side. That's it. Plus Rho G H1 plus Rho P1 square is equal to what? P2, all P2s on one side plus 2 plus half rho V plus. So what we are doing right now, and again explain this. First of all, we need to prove the equation of continuity, which is quite obviously we have proven it yesterday itself. The same thing I am writing it again here. The amount of mass that would enter from B to C would be the same amount of mass of the fluid that will efflux or exit from the D to E. Isn't it obvious? Yes, of course. What enters will come out. So in the length BC क्या है? What is the length BC? Velocity into time. Yes. So work is done on the fluid, which is positive. Work done on the fluid. This is the convention. To tell you this convention, I wrote this here itself. I wrote work done on the fluid is always positive because the motor is pumping the fluid. Understood? Motor is pumping that much fluid inside it. Right? Did you understand this? This is the convention in physics. But in chemistry, you will again see this. In thermodynamics. Work done on the system is negative for them. But for us, it is positive. Work done on. On means somebody externally is doing. No, you are pushing a block. Then it's a positive one. But if the block is coming and pushing you, then it is negative work. For example, something sliding down on you, then work done is negative. Right? That way here, we have to understand. Understood that concept? Right. So this is it. So mass, we have tried to find out what is the mass on the both sides. Mass ka, in terms of density, we wrote. Mass is equal to what? Density into volume. Volume means what? Area into velocity V1 into delta T. Yes. This mass is the entering mass and this mass is the exiting mass. That which exited out. Ye jo hai, this both are same, right? This is equation 1. This is equation 2. These two are exactly equal, no? Because law of continuity, because the equation of continuity. Now we have to find out how much work is done by the motor, external agency. What is work done by motor? Force with which it is pushing the fluid into the distance it could push it. Is it or not? Yes. So how much force it is applied? F1 force it has applied. On L1 distance, it has moved the fluid through. What is F1? Pressure P1 with which it has pushed. Force is written in terms of pressure and area. P1 A1, V1 T delta T. V1 delta T is nothing but the L1, that distance it has moved, no? BC.
So 1 second. Can you like give reference to the diagram also, because then I get lost out what is P1, V1 and all
BC,
like that
yeah.
types.
That's what I'm doing up and down. That is P1 A1. Do you understand this? P1 is the pressure of pushing. Into A1 is this area A1. Into BC. B to C is what length? L1, no? L1 length. This is only L1. I'll write it here. This is only L1 length. From here to your L2 length. L1 means B to C. L2 means D to E. Okay. See, I wrote here. Here also the green color thing. This is your L1. This is your L2 length. Okay. So F1, L1 is the work done by the motor on the fluid. Now the fluid may work kiya to, that is positive. The work done by the fluid is negative. So what is coming out is negative. So what is coming out is negative. The work done by the fluid on the atmosphere is said to be negative. So the fluid efflux from D on other end, this is going to be negative. Understand this? This again, this is the point. This is negative work done. Because of sign convention, this is the negative work done. So net work done is how much? Work done on the fluid plus negative work done by the fluid. Okay. Is it clear? This thing is clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what is that? P1, positive P1, A1, V1, delta T minus P2, A2, V2, delta T. Why this negative came again? I'm telling you. Now work done by the fluid. So this is what you will get, right? Understood this? Clear?
Yes, sir.
अब ये जो work energy theorem, what does it say? It simply says Change in the or gain. If you don't understand this gain and all, better to don't write. Change, you write change. Just simply write change in the potential energy plus change in the kinetic energy. Is that make sense for you? That's better. If you don't understand this gain, lost, decrease and all that, simply write change in potential energy plus change in the kinetic energy. At the 2 points, at the first point, what is the potential energy? mgh1. It has gained, it has become mgh2. So what is the difference? mgh2 minus mgh1. And initially, what is the kinetic energy? Half mv1 square. Now what is the kinetic energy? Half mv2 square. Okay. So that should be this you understood? Now, after this, it's very simple. You're just dividing the volume on both sides. If you see your NCERT textbook, no, he has not done this way. Till here he has done. After that, he has split this mass again in terms of rho 1, A1, P1, delta T. He's written that. But anyways, it is the same thing, no? Again, he has written that volume, again he has split up, again mass he has split up and divided. Okay, same thing. It is the same thing. So I just simply, I made it a little shorter for you. So I divided by volume on both sides. It is the same thing. Understood that? Mass per unit volume, no. Same thing. He has split this mass only as volume into density is written. One more step will come in your NCERT textbook. Rho into delta V. He has written this mass. Is converted the mass like this.
So what about the row on the P1 minus P2 side?
Huh? Where is rho on P1 minus P2? Where is it? There is no rho on the P1 minus P2 side.
We'll divide both sides with what? Okay, sorry. Yeah. No, I think so.
What you're saying, tell me. There
No,
is
sir, I
rho.
thought we are dividing by density. Sorry, it was
No,
divided
no,
by volume. No, no, I
Volume.
understood.
Volume.
Understood.
Volume.
The
Okay.
derivation on we don't have to like mug up. No, only the formula is important, right?
No, you have to derive it to write in NCERT exam. No?
No. Like that is okay. Like
This formula is very
otherwise,
simple.
formula is more important, right now.
Yes. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
It's not difficult. It's very easy. Okay. This is
Just
the
lengthy, sir. You have to like derive thrice or 4 times.
This is not lengthy. It's very easy, small derivation. Actual lengthy derivations will be 2-3 pages.
So this is 1 page.
Yeah, I have made it even shorter because I did not write in terms of densities here. Okay. Now this is your final result. And this is called as, since you see this equation, on one side pressure is there, then density GH is there, then density half V square is there. They have some names, okay? They have some names. That names we should understand. What is this going to be called as? This pressure. This in general, if I write this equation, in general, I would like to write that as P plus rho GH plus rho V square is equal to constant. Isn't that? Yes, of course, understood that. So this is
Yes,
called
sir.
as Bernoulli's equation. This is called as Bernoulli's
Okay, sir.
which is nothing but simply the law of conservation of energy only. This is nothing new. It's just simply law of conservation of energy in a different way. And they have certain names. This first term is called as pressure head. This is called as pressure head. First term is called as pressure head. Pressure head means pressure only. What else? Second term is called as gravitational head or potential head. Because it is gravitational potential, no? So that's why they gave that name, gravitational head or potential head, we call it. Okay, gravitational, or another way in your NCERT textbook, they wrote simply potential head. Head. And the third term is called kinetic head or dynamic head also sometimes in some books. Kinetic energy hai na, that's why. So pressure head plus potential head plus kinetic head per unit volume also they're called. These head means what? Per unit volume. Basically head means kinetic energy per unit volume. Okay, gravitational head means the potential energy plus per unit volume. Pressure head means pressure energy per unit volume. That's all. So that's why their names are given like that. Okay. So what is pressure head basically? Pressure energy per unit volume.
So 1 second, can you just scroll a little up?
Still more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
So this is called as was potential energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy definition I'm telling you. Per unit volume. Okay. Okay, children, both of you understood this small thing.
Yes, sir.
They are the definitions. Okay. Now here one more thing to be taken. Here we are considering that the liquid or the fluid, whichever is flowing, is non-viscous. It's not having much viscosity. It is not having any viscous drag. You don't know anything about viscosity. I have not taught you to know. I will tell next topic after that. So यहाँ पे liquid का viscosity is not taken into consideration. Viscosity is like friction. Remember in 11th style. Oh, you are 11th. Friction के बारे में कुछ तो idea होगा ना? Friction. What is friction?
Yes, sir.
The roughness.
Yes,
Roughness. Friction के वजह से energy is lost. No. Here also viscosity is like a fluid friction. It's a drag. It's a drag. So there is no friction here. There is no friction. There is no viscosity. There is no viscosity. The fluid is non-viscous. So then only this is true. Otherwise, little bit of loss of energy will be there. No. Understood that? But it is inevitable that there will be drag, there will be loss of energy. Because it's impossible. Even with the container, when the liquid actually goes through the tube, with the tube itself, with the surface of the tube itself, there will be some anomalies here. The tube will have some holes, or not holes, but roughnesses here. So there will be a drag. You just can't avoid drag. There will be drag, and that is why turbulence will come into existence. Whenever there is a drag, turbulence will come. And turbulence, when it comes, laminar flow will start coming. Then streamline flow will be disturbed. As soon as streamline flow is disturbed, Bernoulli's equation won't work. Directly it won't work because the equation of continuity itself doesn't work. Those are all most in general cases. Understood this? Now, in this equation, I have divided by volume and found this equation. Yes. There are certain other equations wherein rho will not be there. There will not be rho. Such type of Bernoulli equations are also there in some books. But you might not see that in NCERT is not there. But I am telling you such an equation will also exist. So we are not dividing by volume there. They will divide there by directly by mass on both sides or something like that. I will tell you that later when we are doing advanced problems. Right? So यहाँ तक समझ में आया both of you?
Yes,
Now
sir.
this equation is correct or not? How to verify? There should be some way to verify, no? This equation. There should be some other way to cross verify. Is it or not? So let us take the fluid is stable. Let us consider if the fluid is stable. If you consider velocity V1 is equal to V2, means what? Stable. Fluid is not moving. Then what do we get? What does the equation become? There will be no kinetic head at all. Is it or not? Then the equation become only P1 plus rho G H1 equal to what? P2 plus rho G H2. Because there will be no more velocities, no motion. Then if you write this equation, rearrange this equation, it will become P1 minus P2 is equal to rho G into H2 minus H1. Isn't this obvious? We have seen this equation, no, earlier itself, yesterday's equation. The change in the pressure is nothing but HdG, no? H rho G, we call H rho G. We got the equation, no? Delta pressure is equal to delta H into rho into G. It is the same equation as earlier. Is it or not? This is the same earlier equation. Yesterday's equation. So that means our equation is correct. Understood? This is one way we can verify. Is it understood? Both of you? Yeah, this is a lengthy one, but it is very important. Any doubts? You can ask, because now we crossed 1 hour. Any doubts? Because
No,
next
sir.
next derivation is Torricelli's law and then Venturi meter are there. They are also very long. They are also long only, not very, but long only. If we start Torricelli's law now, it will take half an hour or maybe more than that also. At least I will tell you the introduction of Torricelli's law, okay? What is the next? This is also one 5 marks answer. This is all CBSE में तो 5 mark answers है, बड़े answers हैं. So the next derivation that we're going to do tomorrow completely. Today I'm just giving introduction. Torricelli. This is the name of a scientist. What does Torricelli law mean? Every day we are observing it in our daily life. You know, every day in our daily life we are observing. We have a tank or aquarium or a water bottle. Take water bottle. Okay, and you just puncture the water bottle here with a small hole. What happens? Water flows like this. Water leaks, no? Yes, water will leak and fall on the surface. Everyday observation, nothing more wonderful. So what Torricelli observed was, if you have water or liquid at a particular depth from the free surface, this is what I'm talking about, free surface. This is inside, this is a water bottle with its water bottle or water tank or your pressure cooker or any container with the top surface closed ho gaya. Top surface is closed. If all surfaces are closed, then there is no free surface, no? यहाँ पे कोई free surface ही नहीं है. But from the top surface, if the puncture hole is at a depth h from the top surface, then the velocity with which this fluid will fall down to the surface, to the ground, will be exactly equal to root over 2gh, which is nothing but the velocity of a freely falling body. Is it or not? Isn't it or not? If a freely falling body, were to travel this height, again, don't get confused. If a freely falling body were to fall from a height h, then it would be the same. Again, I'm telling you. If a freely falling body were to...
Is it something related to like the projectile motion?
No, not like that. Not projectile motion.
No, because here you're talking
something related to that. Yeah. Little bit looks like that. Looks like that. So if a freely falling body were to fall from u from initial velocity u is equal to 0, it had to travel this height h. Then after reaching this point, what would its velocity be? root 2gh. But you see, observe here, little different here, little different. It's not like freely falling body directly. Well, the depth is important. Understand? It is the depth that is important. It's the depth of the hole. Depth of the hole from the free surface is important. It is not the height of the hole. But for freely falling body, it is the height of the freely falling body is important. For the freely falling body to get this velocity v is equal to root 2gh, this one is important, no? Children, both of you try to understand. This should be h. But here this is not h. Ye hai h. This is actually not h. This is some y1. I'll do the derivation tomorrow. y1 and this is h. ये जो है ना h. The total height of the aquarium is y. Total height of the aquarium is y2. Equal to what? y1 plus h. Understood this? y2 is equal to y1 plus h. y1, agar freely falling body from a height y2 is falling, what would the velocity be? Root 2g y2, no? Root 2g y1, no? y1. But freely falling body ke sar ke upar, whatever the height may be, it is immaterial for the freely falling body. Is it or not? Above the, did you understand what I'm talking about? Freely falling body ke liye, below the freely falling body height to the ground. That's only important for the freely body because it falls due to gravity. It doesn't fall due to any pressure or anything. It is falling due to gravitational force. Did you understand that concept, what I'm trying to tell? Anyway, you'll understand that when I derive it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Little bit.
Yes,
This is the
somewhat, yeah, like
introduction.
a little bit like lost.
It's okay. That's what Torricelli's law says. We will prove it means you'll understand anyway. It's very simple. Okay. So in an aquarium, at a particular point, when you have a hole or you take a water bottle and puncture a hole at some distance. For example, the height of your water bottle is 5 meters, man. Okay, I'll tell you numbers, then you understand. This is your water bottle. The height of your water bottle is, let us take 5 meters. Okay, and you punctured the hole here. Punctured a hole here. And the depth of this hole from the cap, from the bottle cap, is 3 meters. And this hole from the bottom of your table, or from the surface of your table, or the bottom of your bottle, is 2 meters. Yes. Now the velocity with which this water will come like this and fall on the surface. Yes or no? That is equal to what? Do you know? Can you tell me now? 2g into what? I should have 2 or 3? 3. Understood now
Please,
clearly?
sir.
बस अब समझ में आ गया तुम. Actually, freely falling body में, in freely falling body, this is not the answer, no? Freely falling body में velocity what it will get? Root 2g into 2 will come, no?
Yes.
Freely falling body, this is important. This is not important for freely falling body, but it is a little bit like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to prove tomorrow. Okay, any
Yes,
doubts?
sir. Okay, no doubts.
Okay, so I will stop now. So we'll stop the class. Any doubts you can ask.